Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Batcolyte. Go ahead and tap the screen and share the live. We'll be getting started very soon. We are here, as we always are, to see if you can question your beliefs. And if you can, well then go ahead and request up. I'm not here to debate or argue. I just want to know, well, if you can question your beliefs, then what is it that you believe? And why do you believe it? And if you don't have a belief in a God, or you've been up here and questioned them thoroughly, well, make sure you tap the screen, share the live, and get your questions ready. I'll definitely be asking as many of those as I can as we bring up our first guest. Okay, well, I guess that guest doesn't exist. But maybe you have a belief in a God or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, and maybe you're capable of questioning that belief. If you are, make sure that you request on up. I'm not gonna debate you, tell you you're wrong, or tear you down. I just want to know if you can question. Mostly that. But if you can, then what is it that you believe? And why do you believe it? What convinces you that it's true? Or does truth you for the comfort? The feeling that you've always held to it for? Does it matter if that's founded in reality or if it's just something that makes you feel good? Or is it something you feel pressured or even fearful of, and so you hold to it without the feeling of another choice? While we wait for somebody with a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, let's make sure that we welcome everybody coming in. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Morgan LeFay, good to see you. Augie Dog, welcome in. Michael V, it's good to see you as always. Barfing Toaster, Jestaro the Jester, Danny J, good to see you all. Quigley, Wyatt, good to see you. Brandy, Bree, Tommy the Man, Angel, Jacqueline Duarte, good to see you again. Ali Darish, is it Darwish? I see. And Laura and Lydia. Wow, Lydia, good to see you too. If anybody who's just scrolling in happens to have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, you're capable of questioning your beliefs, go ahead and request on up.
Hello.
Hello, Tommy. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
Yes, I'm 58.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything?
I do, but my belief is probably a little bit different because
Hmm.
I've died.
I'm sorry,
I
you say that
died
you've.
and I was gone for a while on the other side.
How long?
About 11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Fascinating. And so, because I assume your heart was stopped, is what you mean by
Yes,
having been
yes. I had a
unalived.
widowmaker heart attack and
I
I was
see.
gone for quite a while.
For 11 minutes.
Yep. The
And
first
during
time.
the first time, I see. So you've done this more than once.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. And during the time that you were unalived, you had some kind of experience.
Yes, sir, I did.
I see. And uh,
And it's hard. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was going to ask if your brain had ceased functioning during that time, um, or if your brain was still struggling to stay
No,
alive.
I'd been declared clinically dead when I came back.
Clinically, yeah.
Yep.
So clinically means that your heart had stopped, but not
Yes,
that your
sir.
brain had stopped. If your brain had kept going, functioning, striving on what little oxygen it
Yep.
had left, then is it not likely the experiences that you think you've had have been products of an unaliving mind, a mind struggling to comfort or assuage that as it ends?
Well, that's a good question, but the thing is, when it hasn't happened more than once. It's happened three different times now. One for 11, one for about 8.5, and another one for 6 minutes. And every time, it was the same background, but I don't
Hmm.
know. It. My beliefs are different than what they used to be, I should say.
I see. So, in your beliefs, let's back up to that first question. Do you believe there is a God?
I believe there's a higher power. I believe the universe, maybe you could call it. I believe that myself now, I believe organized religion is in for a rude awakening one day.
Hmm. So,
In-
so you don't believe in the biblical God then, not like
Not in sense, no.
Jesus.
Not in the sense, no, sir.
Hmm. And, and you believe that there's something there you consider a higher power because of these experiences where your where your heart stopped.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You know, I never saw God. I never saw Jesus. I felt love. I felt peace. But it was not someone an astral figure that you would sit there see shining. I mean, it was totally different. It's a um it was amazing to be there. I won't lie, but it's like the whole, I don't know, everything around you was incredible. Not just one superior being. It's like it it was eye opening, to say the least.
I missed part of what you said. You said everything around you was, and then you said it was eye opening. What did you say
Um,
between that?
well, everything around me was like amazing. The love, the peace, the tranquility, everything.
Oh, I see.
Everybody was. It says
Love,
that.
peace, and tranquility.
Yes, sir.
I'm I'm curious, Tommy. Well, before I ask my question, let me first thank Bree, Angel, Morgan Le Fay, and Barfing Toaster. Thank you guys so much for helping us with that first goal. Um, Tommy, you described love, peace, tranquility, these kind of emotional feelings, right? Is that what you mostly experienced um, as you were going through these experiences? Was it just the feeling of love, peace, and tranquility?
It was a feeling, but and I'll tell you this story. I mean, the first person I walked away. I could see myself, and I walked away from the table where they were working on me. Um, there were, and I couldn't see my face, and I took a few more steps, and it's like we were talking right now, and all of a sudden there was my grandmother, and my grandmother was very, very beloved to me, and I mean, she was like, look, I was talking to her like I'm talking to you, and but she was like 30 years old then, and she um I kept asking her what's going on. What is this, grandmother? And she just said, well, it's everything you think, and then and it's more. And I thought I was going to see God or Jesus or something, but that's not what I saw. I felt love. I mean, but it was like almost a motherly love. I mean, it's hard.
Mhm.
It was
So
hard.
it wasn't like you saw God and Jesus. It wasn't like everything you thought it would be. It was something different. It was an emotional feeling, a motherly feeling, you said.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. And
Is it at all possible, Tommy, that when a brain is going through trauma, when a body is unaliving, that the brain seeks to protect itself and the body in any way it can, and perhaps giving you a feeling of comfort, familiarity, having that sort of dream-like
hallucination, you mean?
experience, yeah, of encountering a lost loved one, feeling familiar and and safe. Could
Well,
those things not be what a brain does when a body is unaliving?
that's a possibility, but the hard thing to explain about that is my grandmother always had a particular smell, and everybody she was famous for it. And when I left, she gave me a hug, and when I was back in my room that night, you could smell her on my clothes.
Could
So,
could that not be something coincidental? You had the thought of her in your mind, conjuring up a sense, memory, the smell, with your brain going through what it went through. Could
well,
it not be
that
surprising? You'd have some lingering effects.
and that's a good possibility, but my ex-wife, my wife at the time, not ex, but she didn't believe it had happened to me, and I told her go smell my clothes in the locker over there, and she went and smelled them, and she was like, oh my god, that's your grandma. I said, I told you.
Right.
So that's
You told her.
to
You
go smell them.
primed her for it. Yeah, you primed her for it. You had her thinking about it.
Hmm.
Could it not just be a similar scent was there, or even was already there?
I, that would be a tough one because like I say, my grandmother's signature scent was don't laugh, Avon perfume,
Hmm.
and flour tortillas. She loved flour tortillas. She made flour tortillas every morning, and she was kind of famous for that.
Hmm.
And I mean, and when she hugged me, she left that on me. And
Right.
and and
D-
and
the problem,
Go ahead.
Tommy. Well, it's kind of like Danny says in the comments. If you're smelling her perfume on your clothes, that would mean she, or imply she literally hugged you, your body, which was being worked on by medical professionals at the time.
That's true.
Does, does it does it not make more sense that you might have primed yourself and even your wife for the idea that your clothes might smell like her because you had the memory, you had the thought. You
Yeah, I
said
mean,
flour tortillas and Avon with a combination of smells similar.
oh, I'm sure there is. I mean, I would be, I'm open to any thoughts, like you say, or invitations on it. But the when it happened, it almost like ingrained in your soul, and that's the hard part. I mean, like I say, it changed my look on my beliefs, and I don't. I don't say I'm a really religious person, spiritual or whatever you want to, and and I have people ask me all the time, what's on the other side, what's it like, what's going to happen, and I have to tell them, I said, what happened to me is something might be totally different for you. I couldn't tell you. And
But you,
go
I
ahead.
heard you say you're open to hear what I say, but are
Yeah.
you open to consider the possibility that this wasn't an NDE, but that this is what, well, I mean, an NDE still qualifies, but that this wasn't a, an afterlife experience, that this was just what a brain does?
Oh yeah, I'm very open to it. I mean,
Hmm.
endorphins are released in your brain and everything else is going on. Who's to say it wasn't a hallucination? And
I've noticed that you mentioned what you were smelling, what you were feeling, what you were thinking. You said your grandmother looked like she was in her 30s. Um, what else did you see in this?
and that's the funny part. Everything around me, I don't really remember seeing details or anything like that. Just her. You could feel
Hmm.
emotions, you could feel things. I could hear other people.
Hmm.
I mean, I could hear like people screaming for some reason, but I never saw them.
Hmm. People screaming. That have
Hmm.
been sounds from the hospital, or even
It could have been.
your own mind going through the trauma.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was. I'm not gonna lie. It was a brutal event, and every and that's a possibility. This happened. Your mind's hazy. It could have been a hallucination. But um, it. I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
not one to answer the question. I've been told different
I
things.
don't know is a great answer, Tommy. I don't know is a great answer, and it sounds like you are. While you feel convicted in some way that this is uh, your grandmother, an afterlife experience that convinces you something is there. I hear
Hmm.
you. I hear you questioning and actually being open to alternatives.
Hmm. Oh yes. I mean, it's
What would it mean for you if you were to find that there was no afterlife? That somehow science or some other way you were able to verify and confirm um, that these were experiences of a dying brain, comforting the body it was in. Um, would that?
um I don't know if it would change my life. Well, it would change it, but I would still try to be the same person I am now. Because when this happened, it kind of turned me 180 degrees. I'll be out straight up and honest. I used to be kind of a prick and talk down to people and stuff like that. And after this has happened, I try to be more helpful and nice to people and do what I need to be a better person. You know, um, it's to find out if it was true, that if it was a dying brain, like you say, that made me have this hallucination to comfort me, to make me, you know, feel okay through the transition. Um, I accepting that would be tough, but I could do it if it could be proven to me, that was exactly what happened. I mean, it's you know, death is your only guarantee in life. And when this happened, why my body came to choose to come back after such an amount of time, I don't know. Um, did uh, do I specifically believe in God? No. I believe maybe in the universe or a
Mhm.
higher power.
It does it the higher power, the universe? Does it have to even be sentient, conscious, or is it just power?
Uh, that's a tough. I mean, power. If you to me greater than myself, that makes me, aware of that. I'm not sure how you would say it or how you would express it, but to me, that's kind of yeah. Taxes are also guaranteed. You know, that's good, but I don't. I don't know. I'm open to answers from anybody. I mean, um, personal belief and faith and there's a lot of people out there, their faith is all they have to live for, that there's something on the other side, and and that's good for them. Now, what I saw, it was, you know, it shook my faith because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, if that's my mind telling me that, you know, I don't know. And it was, it's been a struggle since this happened. It's been like 7 years now, and
Hmm.
I and uh and I don't know. I have talked to a lot of people. I've talked to groups of people about it, and I tell them, I said, this is my story. I mean, like I say, if
Hmm.
something happened to you, it could be totally different. I don't know.
Yeah. You say you talk to groups of people about it to tell them
Yes,
what you experienced.
yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yep.
Um, do you think that you said something about people have faith and it provides them something to live for? For you, does the belief in an afterlife give you something to live for?
Um, that's a possibility. I mean, your
Would a
mind's
bel
an incredible animal.
hmm
I
That's
mean,
that's an interesting way to put it. Your mind's an incredible animal. Um,
exactly.
it can do amazing things,
Yes, it can.
including show us things that aren't really there, um, convince us that we are uh, not in pain when we are, or that we are not damaged when we are, that we are damaged when we aren't. Um, it can convince us of all kinds of things
Oh, exactly.
that are not true, right?
Yeah, I agree fully.
I wonder. Um, I had asked if believing in an afterlife gives you something to live for. I would wonder if not believing would give you more to live for,
Um, it
knowing
might.
nothing would be there.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would for a lot of people because, I mean, like I say, my whole envision of organized religion changed in those few minutes. I mean, and when it happened, and I, and like I say, I didn't see God and I didn't see Jesus. I wish I could have. I wish I could come up here and say with 100%, that's what it is, and you can't shake my faith. But like I say, I can't say that. If I mean, if someone could show me and prove to me, say, listen, this was your brain, without oxygen, and this is your brain on oxygen. Um, uh, uh, um, no, no, no mental health issues. um, I would like to know. I mean, it's an interesting aspect to think about. You know, if it was a hallucination and what you saw, like I say, your brain's incredibly powerful to make you have such feelings and such emotions. That it's just um, crazy. Um, it's it's a hard one to kind of decipher sometimes.
Mhm. When you think about it, all the feelings, all the emotions, all the experiences that you have,
Hmm.
um, they are whatever you have processed, whatever your brain has been able to process of those experiences.
Hmm. Yes.
Not necessarily true to whatever's happening, just true to what your brain is capable of doing. And sometimes it's amazing at what it can comprehend and clarify, and sometimes it's amazing at what it can fabricate and mislead us with. Um, I would wonder if looking into the processes of the brain during this seeing what the current research is, and staying on top of those topics might alter your belief in any way. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just curious if you think that knowing the medical science would cause you to believe more or less in an afterlife.
You know, I, I don't know. Maybe if I was a doctor and that, and I know the exact workings of the human mind and the last stages of death, and when you die and when you go and what your brain is capable of, I know that the doctor was signing my death certificate when I opened my eyes and looked at him. So that tells me that I was dead and dead, because he was willing. He had stopped working on me and said I had passed. So I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, what step was I away? Did he miss something? Did he misdiagnose something? Did he,
Could he have?
I don't know.
Yeah. Could his efforts have been more successful than he thought, and he stepped away too soon?
And the thing is, and I mean, that's a possibility, and I like I say, I'm not sure. I don't have I don't have that medical degree to tell you exactly what happens to the body in that process of death. I wished I did. I mean, I've talked to other people about NDEs, their after death experiences.
Do you find that they align with yours, or that they're all different?
A lot of them are the same, but I haven't found one yet that was like I experienced.
They all say the same kind of like feelings, but different actual experiences, different.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of them might be just nothing, right?
Yeah. I mean,
can I tell you that
over the last year, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and that was it.
Over the last year that I've been doing this show, I've talked to a lot of people who've had these experiences, and I can't say one way or the other what's most common, but I do find that a lack of experience at all is extremely common. It feels, at least in my recollection, like it might be equal, if not more.
It's and like I say, I've talked to quite a few people, and I've actually been published in a book by a guy about it, and it's funny, the curiosity of others. I have people, they want me to tell them what they want to hear, and when you don't do that, it bothers them, because it, like you said, it shakes their faith and their beliefs, because do they believe me, or do they continue having their faith and believe what they've read or been told? And it's kind of a struggle sometimes.
I can hear that. Tony. I appreciate you answering these questions.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really only have maybe one or two more.
Go ahead.
Does it matter to you, in the end, if this experience, just the way you experienced it, well, let me just say it again. Does it matter to you if this experience was real or not? If in the end it gives you comfort?
That's an excellent question, my friend. You like to hold on to the memory of what happened, because you know what? It does give you comfort, especially if your faith is there and it was real, because you think about it, what happened and what I saw and the feelings I had, and even if it was a hallucination, it's still a thing of comfort in your mind, to because when death finally happens, you won't be scared, you won't be all worried about it because you're wanting what happened to come back. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. Even if it doesn't, that's what you're gonna want. Um, I would, and like I say, to each, everybody has their own story, everybody has their own feelings, and everybody has their own faith. I am just a mere speck on the wall of humanity, and me, trying to sort this out sometimes is a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I don't, I didn't want this to happen to me. I wasn't looking for it, but it did.